Om Shanti. Experiment on yourself and others with your mind, with the power of yoga. Imperishable light of God and the light of your soul. Electricity, light, is the basis of experimenting with the power of science, and a computer is considered to be might, but its basis is light. In the same way, the basis of your power of silence is also light. Since many types of experiments can be demonstrated practically through physical light, what can you not experiment with when you have the imperishable light of God, the light of your soul, and the light of your practical stage? Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today's day 27. Experiment on yourself and others with your mind with the power of yoga. Today's topic: imperishable light of God and the light of your soul. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. Did you churn understood what Baba is trying to say? I know some of you read Murli, you find it and then you read it. But Baba's light is imperishable. Light of the soul also is imperishable, but it goes through 16 degrees to no degree. So that's the main difference. And then there is light of the nature. But then finally, the power comes when your stage is light. So I was churning on how light makes you light. No? So that means when there is current, there is light. So internally, as Baba said, I think it was Murli when Baba said, when you are in good yoga and also karma yogi, then you get sayog, that is cooperation from Baba. So he's not saying all the time, but Baba from time to time then gives you cooperation. So that is where the might comes, Baba's power. Like here also, no, sometimes internet doesn't work because there is no light. So light is connection, and connection makes things work. Like if you don't have connection here of electricity, you won't be able to do anything. But that is why people are finding the substitute of light to the solar light. Here also in Shantivan, such a big solar plant, right? So instantly we have generators, but generators also depend on light. So when there is solar on, then at least you have some light. Out of 20, maybe you have 2 at least. And that is why when it's no light, mic still works because of the solar connection. Some of the generators also work. So let's see, electricity, light is the basis of experiencing with the power of science, because electricity is generated in a science, with the, when they knew that how can there be electricity. So it was the research of the science. So Baba is saying that, so it's considered to be might, that is basis of light. In the same way, Baba says, the basis of your power of silence. I think most of you experiment, right, with silence, power of silence, power of silence. See, basically, when there is purity, lightness, you are subtle and you can go deeper. Sometimes you are not subtle, you try to go deeper. So people will start sleeping. They're trying to go deeper, but because of the heaviness, they can't sit properly. They won't have concentration. So Baba says, since many types of experiences can be demonstrated practically through, Baba says, physical light. They have these big fountains. We have also in Manmohan, they all work with the electrical power, right? So many experiments are being done. So Baba says that they are demonstrated practically, Baba says, through physical light. What you not experiment with when you have the imperishable light of God? Baba says, what can you not experiment with? When you have power, you have imperishable light of God, the light of your soul and the light of your practical stage. So ultimately, whatever knowledge we have, when we experiment, we practice, then your stage becomes light. Let's say sometimes you are in midst of lot of thoughts and you try to say, how can I become light? You try to think of a point of knowledge, but that is the time to use light. Either Baba's imperishable light, soul as a light, so that my stage can be light. I remember a few days ago, I was missed of lot of things and I said, I want silence. So I went deeply in silence. But then I was looking for one of the points which can immediately help me to be light. So there are sometimes we are involved in certain things. So we want to remain light or use the power of silence. Then these are the points we can churn so that our stage can be light. Because confluence age, so auspicious age, and this is the time we are settling karmic accounts, we are creating soul conscious new relationships. We have to do so much effort and there's so much service to do. But internally, the stage has to be light, joyful, carefree, carefree king. So many stages. They are all of confluence age, right? So we have to see that ultimately, whether it's churning of knowledge or reading Murli, our stage has to be joyful, light, peaceful, right? That has to be ultimate result of our efforts or attainment of confluence state or inheritance of God. All that is really how you churn knowledge, apply knowledge, and finally you become light. Right? Oh, Shanti. Mm, mm. Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, Om Shanti Mohini Didi, I have already unmuted. I was just
Okay.
waiting to be called.
Oh, okay.
So
Welcome.
for you it's morning, for us it's evening. It's a pleasure to be with you. And by the exact point of today and the exact point of tomorrow, that the one that it was showed before, and also about whatever you have shared, I have so many points to to ask you, so maybe you can explain. I think that my first conversation with you is about what you spoke last, about being light and not experiencing heaviness, because when we are heavy, we are not happy, and life is not worth. But we have so much to do in our day-to-day routine. There is the Brahmin routine. We have to cook, we have to offer, we have to attend class, we have to study, and we have to do service. And my question is that I see that some Brahmins a little bit overwhelmed by so much that they have to do, and there's family and logic work, they start to diminish to the service. And it's just like, they do less and they don't want to do outside service. And I don't think that they are like retired spiritual BKs. So, what would you say for these BKs who feel that service has become a little bit of a burden to them? How to inspire them to go back to the field of service?
I think that instead of them or we focusing and feel that they should be doing service, somewhere we have to see how deeply we could motivate them, that means their stage. How do we help them to have that lightness in their stage? So when there is lightness, then you would want to do service. Like Dadi Janki, we used to ask her, look at her age, look at her responsibilities. So how you can do so much service? all of us try until 3 afternoon that we have to do service since morning until 3. And then we start around 6 o'clock, again at 10. We try to make at least 8-10 hours of service, because whatever Baba has given us, we're getting so much sustenance from Baba. So I think that somewhere something is lacking in their attainments. So we have to look for what would inspire them. Is it karma yoga they like, or they like to give knowledge, or what do they like, and what will help them to motivate themselves? And one thing I find that this morning I was thinking, let's say a Vyakti Parivar, we trying our best to be consistent, and not a single day we miss it. It inspires some of the souls. They say, oh, if we can have every day, why can't I be there? So some souls are inspired and they don't miss any. But there are some, oh, we do it whenever it's comfortable, whenever it's possible. So kind of carelessness, because maybe they're not receiving what they should be receiving. If they, like for me, a Vyakti Parivar, even for 3 minutes, when Dadi's pictures come, Brahma Baba, how he is with the, so that experience of being in Yajna really inspires me. And every day I wait for these few moments, or if you came or any seniors come and we are able to talk. So there are few things which motivates me, and that's the attraction. And of course, family is a big thing, that we will be meeting again as a parivar. And so I think that we have to look for something which brings attainment to them, or they experience something. So I think that even for Murli, you have to kind of churn in such a way that when they listen to that point, I always say, when an old Brahmin start writing, that means what you're doing is right. Generally, I know, this also I know, this also I know. So they're not motivated unless they see some insight, something which strikes them, something which appeals them, something which is useful to them. And then you say they can do it. So we have to find some ways, especially to see what would they like to do in service, and then help them.
Great. Another thing connected what you were already saying about silence being like the underground of our experience of lightness, which is quite very, very important. That experience of going inside and experience your inner being. But you said something which is also in the Aviac signal very, very important, that our practical stage should be like that. So it's not just an experience, it's not just to experience lightness or silence, but we have to make our stage like that. And you said very beautiful word. You said it has to be real. So, um, how can we be and show to others that our stage is real? Because I'm going to share from my heart, there are many, many, many real and sincere BKs, but some, it seems that they just show off. It's just like pretending that they are happy or they are light. So, how can you really have a truthful spirituality? Not just a spirituality to be nice in the gathering or to show to others, or whenever you show to Madhuban, you go to Madhuban, then how can we make our state practical? in that sense, real, truthful?
I think that it's quite a long life, no, in the sense of years of spiritual journey. So for many do get tired and or lack of interest or carelessness. It does happen, but that is why we have to create some yuktis, even in knowledge, like you have to start seeing something more than what you are generally been feeling it or experiencing it. So I think I generally try to find how to help those who are not motivated, or they are tired inside, or they find journey is too long. That's why Baba also likes the song, "Oh traveler, don't get tired because the dawn is coming very soon." So I think that some energy, some kind of, I'm trying to think about it, but how do you continue to have interest in service?
Mohini Didi, something that Baba said this week, which keeps repeating, and I remember once you have shared, it's about good wishes. Baba said this about 2 days ago. And good wishes has to have power so that it has effect. So good wishes has to be more than just good feelings and good thoughts. It has to go to another level so that it has to have power to make effect, to affect others. I remember once that you said, like if your good wishes don't have power, they don't become blessings because you cannot really bless any other soul if you don't have that kind of power. So, how do you make this transition from good wishes to infuse power so it becomes like blessings?
Yeah, so good wishes also have to have pure feelings, because feelings are more powerful than only thoughts. Dadi Janki always says that, if anything happens, you're not reacting, but you are responding with love, and then you have good wishes, it definitely help other souls. So I feel first thing is pure feelings. And then from your heart, you have certain feelings for that soul, and then the blessing emerges for that soul. You look at that soul, maybe love, it could be mercy, it could be compassion. But when there are feelings, then whatever you think for them or say for them, they work like blessings. It's a very valid point you are bringing, that how can good wishes become blessings for the soul. And these days, everyone, somewhere when they get stuck, they look for blessings, right? From Baba, from each other. And more we share blessings with them, their hope could increase, they get enthusiastic, new energy could emerge in them. But it needs a lot of pure feelings. That means you are not affected even. You're not reacting to others. And yesterday I was thinking that, every moment you have chance to learn, but some people don't learn. They can't. You see them for years, they don't learn. One of the reason is reaction. Anything they react. So nothing is learned. So same is like all of us, we have to see we don't react to anything, so that our feelings, our good wishes, our response to every situation actually become like blessings. I remember whatever I learned was, first at young age we look at our parents and From mother, you learn cooking. From, we learn. And some they don't learn, they don't say, I know this. And they had been seeing something someone is doing or yagya requires, but they don't learn because they react. A kind of stubborn nature in a subtle way against lack of self-respect. So I think that learning is something which motivates you a lot. It's like you are interested, you see flowers, and you feel that these flowers are not blossoming, or you take interest, you water them, there are some they don't love flowers. They to look at, maybe, once we have plants here in big hall. So one time the clay was half gone. There was very little clay. Everyone was seeing, but nobody is thinking, can I get some and make it full? So anyway, it was noticed. We brought asked somebody, but there were so many around. So we say, why you didn't? Because they're not really. They only do see things what they have to do, but what is needed also. That is where you learn and you grow. Otherwise, you are fixed into whatever you know. You know. So this reaction and ability then not to learn. Otherwise, you should have learned so many things. Yesterday I was talking about something, and they said, can we have the lesson on that? But whole day we see things, we observe things, and I used to see how dadis decide about things, churn on that. And then I say, well, now I learn from them how you can be neutral, how you can be. So learning is by observing, learning can be, but some they can't because of reactions. All the time they react for everything. So instead of learning, so they go back to their sanskars and again and again. So I think that I like your point of how could we use power of blessings, right? But then one time Baba said, if I bless as a teacher, everyone will pass, right? So they have to study, then they have to give exam, then they pass, right? So yeah, we can look into that.
Mohini Didi, what you are saying is so, so important. And it is something that I have always noticed. Like this learning through observation. Like when I came in Guyana 46 years ago here in Brazil, and I was the first one, we didn't have any Indian, and we had to learn how to put the sari. So we used to see pictures. We went to a school. There was an Indian teacher. So how does she do the sari? Does she put the sari? And then we went and we bought material to make sari, and the material was not right because it was very thick. Then Sister Jenty came and told us how to do it. So, and also, like it was observing. We used to read the magazines, and we used to know by heart the name of the daddies, for instance. We used to have not just me, all the group at that time. And like we would used to notice how do you behave, how daddy behave. It seems that this it requires a kind of humility for you to learn through observation. Do you feel that the new generation somehow is missing something like this? I don't know. I'm not saying, of course, everyone, but like to learn, to be open to learn through observation, you require a kind of humility to accept, to value that whatever you are seeing, it's useful for you. How
Because,
can we increase this power of observation?
mm, I was telling someone that I still have a lot of interest in learning new vocabulary. present vocabulary, or how could people relate? How can I understand them? Because we go into new countries with a lot of educated people. So if I don't understand them, so I have interest to develop my capacity of getting more and more vocabulary or new vocabulary or present vocabulary. If I use the whole old style language, and so I cannot really match or do Baba's service at higher level. Learning has a lot to do with interest in life, and we want to glorify Baba. And so I think that especially Brother Ken went there, right? And Dadi Janki and Jayanti, when they were going, they were in Guyana. They were coming to Brazil. So he wanted, they were 8 kanyas. He wanted them to wear sari. And they all wore sari other way around. And they didn't know which material to buy. So Jayanti Ben saw them into different, why their saris like, because what can brother can teach them. He was the teacher and they all were educated, good family girls. So when Jayanti Ben went, she said, what is what you all wearing? So, but as she's saying, you have to go then get material. In Brazil, you won't get sari material. Of course, they start coming to India and buy saris, cooking Indian food, making toli, making bhog, because they will just bake a cake, basically. And Dadi Janki said, unless you know, keep stirring, cooking, is not bhog. Cake is not bhog, according to Dadi Janki. So when I will go, and they have to make so much effort to make halwa or kheer or, our kind of what we call bhog. So I remember one time they made cake and Daddy said, no, this is not bhog. So naturally, for them, they will try to understand why cake cannot be bhog. So as Luciana is saying, lot was new for them as a culture. But then they were observing all the sisters, they were observing, and gradually their style, their way of cooking and everything became what we call as Brahmin culture. So yes, there was lot of learning, and that is why you are able to uh, take care of whatever service sustenance for the Brahmins. And you are here around how many years? You said 50.
46
Hmm.
now. And I'm remembering that when you started to come to Brazil, you used to like our food. And there were two items that you like very much. One was the peanut burfi that we started to make. And the second one was the ball made of cassava flour that becomes a little bit like sticky. And we used to
Yeah.
like to have like with the afternoon snack. He used to like that. So it was good times when you still were visiting us. Now it's so many years that you don't come. Didi, I have another important thing about what Didi Nirmala said in her sharing today. She said such an important thing about cooperation in a moment of need. So I remember that once I was going through some internal turmoil, and it was right in the beginning of my young life, and I sent a letter to Daddy Junk at that time, and Sister Gently replied, and she said like this, because you have helped Baba in a time of need, you will deserve Baba's help now. So this is very important because one thing is to have cooperation or to help anytime when there is abundance, when everyone is doing a lot. But sometimes there is a need for some specific action or some specific service or some specific task. So if you do that, that moment, you receive much more in return. So
Mm,
maybe explain a bit more about what does it exactly mean to give cooperation in a time of need.
mm. Yeah, it could be in all different ways. It could be money, it could be time, it could be karma yoga. This thought came in my mind. Let's say I am two sisters, we are in kitchen. We are cooking, lot of people, we are busy. And someone comes and said, which there are some people, they come and start washing dishes. And we say, oh, wow, you are so great. You came at a time. We really need help. There are some, they what I have to do, or they will stand or sit. They won't think that what is needed at this time. And so those who come, they come closer, become family because they are cooperating wherever needed, right? So I think that it's true that even in yagya, whatever is the need, one time Nirvar Bhai came to Peace Village and some people were asking, how do we help, what we can. He said, whatever is needed in yagya, any type of karma yoga or money or whatever is needed, if you do at the right time, that's where you get not only blessing, but you become part of family, right? But if you are always like, okay, what I have to do, I don't know, I don't do this. So it's not cooperation, no? Cooperative means you are all rounder, you are available, and you are able to do whatever is needed. Definitely, there are a lot of benefits. One is, of course, you become part of family, even if it's family, but that relationship is not there. There are some, they just become part of because they know what is needed, do it at the time. And also, somewhere the thoughts, if you need something, someone, they come. And there are some people, they're not available at the right time. So, some kind of internal uh, proper connection, then proper cooperation is very, very important in Brahmin life. And then, of course, you get more blessings, more power, more love, happiness, everything comes. So it's a art also.
Mohini Didi, you said about learning new words. You know that my degree in the university was on sociology. And in sociology, there is a very nice concept about intimate family, nuclear family, it's called, an extended family. So the ones who are closer are the intimate family, which is called the nuclear family, and the ones who are on the next uh, circle are called extended family. So you are
Mm,
saying that if we can uh, observe and perceive the need of the moment, it's just like moving into the intimate family. And when we don't perceive, when we don't cooperate, when we don't extend our hand, naturally we move to the extended family. Could we say like that?
mm.
You
What?
understand? Intimate family would be the ones who are closer. Extended family would be the ones who are in the next circle, not so close.
Yeah, definitely. Immediate family and extended family. No, in Lokek also we see that way. Same is here. Some are like they are become part of family. Some are like, okay, you are part of us, but they're not there around when you need them, right? So I think that because the mental connection is not there, if there is thought, you will get the thought, I must do this, I must do this. Automatically you keep offering yourself instead of thinking I should get to do something. Another is, oh, I can offer this. Maybe I can help in this way. So, and for them, it becomes easy also to grow together Extended family is different. Anyway, there are a lot of thoughts we can talk about. Nice that we could talk, share something.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, and nice that some conversations could happen.
That day, Brother Ken came and he keeps saying, you know, how you remain light and fresh and you always. So I said, there is so much one can do and learn. And so life is naturally very interesting, no? And when life is interesting, then you are happy. Otherwise, you are bored. Eh? But it has
Yeah.
been good.
Okay. Thank you, Mohini Didi, and
Okay,
see you
Luciana.
soon. Yes, Om Shanti. Good night. Good morning
Good.
for you.
Yeah. Okay. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.